Good day, everybody. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media universe world, whatever you want to call it. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR here on the DYOR Media Network. It is August 1st. I can't believe it. It is the month of August, as I like to say, one day closer to Christmas. I mean, the stores are getting the Christmas stuff up already. And of course, I was saying before, one day closer to my birthday, which is true, but I just had my birthday, so it's a long time till my birthday. And of course, one more day until the sun explodes and we all become dust. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, who's in the house but Pedro Garcia, my crypto chart analyst and co-host. What's happening, Pedro?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? What's up, brother? How you doing? Listen, do me a favor here real quick. I want you to tell me how you do it and be honest. What's going on in the world of Tom? How you doing today?
Good. This morning, I took my daughter, sent her off to Lollapalooza. She's got the 4-day pass to Lollapalooza, starting here in Chicago today, and it's scheduled to pour all day. Yeah, she's been looking forward to it since her birthday when I got her the passes, and she's and she's like, Dad, it's gonna rain. I'm like, yep, it sure is.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that, kiddo.
She's still gone for it.
Yeah, she's they take it in stride. They all they wear trash bags and stuff like that. And she, like her dad, she wears a steel-toed boot, Timberland boots. And so you can walk around in the mud and the mosh pits and all that type of stuff. I mean, don't wear those boots, but I wear them for winter. And she has a pair that she wears for that. So that's good, sending her off. But you gotta, she's in that late teen stage where you worry about them, someone giving them, say, hey, take this, or hey, drink this, or something like that. Next thing you know, your kid's the one in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. But anyway, worry about that. But Pedro, what's going on with you this morning?
I'm good, man. Things are really well, dude. Market is moving. I'm excited. Love it when the market moves. That means it's money for me. And things are just kind of nutso. But yeah, I've been seeing we people here on this show have been ready for the recession for almost 6 months to a year. I mean, we've been talking about just so many things that have been happening in the market, what's happening in Bitcoin, the turns and the flips and the ups and downs. And it's one of those things that it's finally kind of happening. And I'm just like, finally, bro, let's go. So
let's go talk about everyone that's here today, as always. Make sure you follow.
Derek?
Pedro, I'm gonna type something up here. Tell everyone to do it with social media.
Absolutely, guys. Please hit that like, sub, and share button. That helps us so much. Get this beautiful project that me and Tom are building, bringing on experts, talking about real market, real situations that are happening, and most importantly, kind of helping you guys kind of see where the market's most likely going to be going. So please hit that like, sub, and share button to your preferred social media, as well as, if you don't mind, give a little comment on every single one of those. So if you're on X, please hit the hey, what up, how you doing, my peoples? Hit that share button, as well as repost, or no, that's called repost. No, it's not repost. What is it? Quote. Hit a little quote on it. Say something funny. Get your friends to come along and hit that hard button if you don't mind. Tom, how you doing?
As I just said, pretty good.
Awesome. So let's do we want to do a quick what's going on with Bitcoin?
Yeah. Well, there's not much going on with Bitcoin other than it's taken the dump of the century.
Yes, it is.
Oh my word, it's ridiculous.
Well, we saw this happening. I said that we'd see some type of bounce off of this area here, and we did. Saw a little bit, but it just kind of, yesterday when we were looking at, we saw it kind of come down, come back up, retest this 8, and then we saw the sell-off happen into the night. So now that we did a little bounce off of this, we're going to see it now, and I know you don't see it, but if you go and you look at it, we'll just look at the 5 minute just so
LeBron James.
Come on.
Welcome, Drano.
Dude, what's up, man? It's been a minute. It is good to have you, brother. my computer is wanting to run slow, so I gotta turn some of these things off here real quick. Yes, alrighty, boom. Yep, there we go. So you guys can see right here when we bounced off of this yesterday. Boom, we came down into our area. Boom, little bounce, came back down, try to bounce up again. Got spanked, got pushed back down, and now we are down over here. As we've been expecting, I'm expecting us to follow through to this demand area, sitting about the 57 to 56 area here. Expect us to kind of follow through, hit this, and see a nice little revert back up to the upside a little. If we do not, then the next spot, as I've been predicting here, is literally going to be around that 50,000 mark area. So, and that will continue to give us a nice little sell-off. So it's the first day of the year, or excuse me, the first day of the month. We are now in August. So shout out to August people. What's up? Those who were born in August. What's up, my peoples? Even though I'm in October, but I always connect well with the August people. I don't know why. I just do.
Well, connecting with Ka-ching in the house.
What's up?
I don't know why my comments keep defaulting to black names on dark blue text, even though I turned that off. I'll fix that while Pedro's talking later.
Busy as F. Oh, shout out to Matt Rhodes saying he's busy as F. Gotta get my DYOR fixed while I'm mining fiat. Shout out. Boom. What up, Derek Breland? Good to have you back. We need something for these guys. Shane Storts, good to have you, my brother, as well. Mr. Jesus has returned again. Shout out to Jesus.
Jesus has risen.
Jesus has
It's getting
risen.
fairly regular here. I mean, it's going to ruin the whole Christianity thing.
I know. We're going to have to figure something else out.
I know. He can't rise every day. You know, every 2,000 years is good or so. But and they did not predict San Francisco. I mean, that was not on the table at all.
No,
I mean, they're thinking, you know, near the rock, maybe Bethlehem, maybe Judah, something. Not Judah, but
no, I got
one of those
you.
cities over there.
Yeah,
but not San
Judah.
Francisco.
Yep. You know, it's a providence. You know what I'm saying? But
what's Saylor's beep on when he comes up with these prices? Smoking. Well, I got to tell you, he gave some good reasoning for it. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
Definitely. So you guys can see us selling off here. Now, we are selling off the beginning of the month, and we all know if it sells off at the beginning of the month, what should we see at the end of the month? A nice little green candle. Yes. So this is a good sign. Okay. This is a nice little sign to see if we start, and I'm expecting us to come down to that 50 period moving average, sitting at the 50,200 area. So be ready for that. And if this thing does see a good little sell off here, then I'd expect to see a nice little rebound off of this area as well on the monthly chart. So we'll see what happens. We've got a couple spots here. We got that 61,000 area where we've already pierced through this now a few times. I don't expect to see this 8 period moving average hold. So I do expect us to see it kind of go down there. All right, that's it in a nutshell for Bitcoin. Dude, I was just thinking about this. I did too as well. Everything that's going on right now with Iran attacking Israel, and then first of all, anyway, we won't leave that alone. But the reason why I'm saying this is many of those guys are very much pro crypto, very pro crypto in those organizations or those countries, cities. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm wondering if this whole entire situation, if full on World War III breaks out, we might see an increase in crypto versus, let's say, their local fiat, because potentially they need something. They need something. So I think it could really push the crypto markets to another all-time high potentially.
Well, I think that gets into the guts of a conversation with what Michael Saylor was talking about, a $13 million coin here. Now, to be clear, he wasn't saying it's Moon Boys, it's going to the moon. I wasn't ready to start this conversation now, but we might as well get started with it.
No, we can wait. I do have a couple other charts I want to get into.
Okay, good. Let's do that. But to answer your question is all these countries are looking for stability, and people vote with their money. And that you can have all the political wonky wonk. You can have the leader that does this and bangs the gavel and makes all the rules or whatever. Ultimately, people make decisions about what's best for them and with their money, and they move it to where they feel it's the most safe. And so all of those countries, even the ones that are on banned lists and the bad guy list, people are using USDT. They're using other stable coins. They're using Bitcoin. They're using all sorts of cryptos because it's a source of stability for them. So,
absolutely, I think you nail the point. It's just as of right now. I mean, when you look at what happened with Venezuela, right, and the situation.
Boy, what a fuck show that is.
Why don't you tell me how you really feel? Yeah, that's
a disaster. I mean,
dude,
the guy loses, says, "No, I didn't lose. The election guys were wrong." Sounds familiar. But anyway, and he's not leaving office. He's just gonna say, "Well, you're gonna have to fight me for it."
Yeah, what's interesting is to see if the soldiers, because one thing about, I would say, the Hispanic culture, right, is that we don't necessarily, fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when you look at, I mean, the only thing I can think about it is the Spanish war with America that we did fight, but overall that kind of got settled because Americans just went, "Rah!" And they're like, "All right, chill, dude. All right, fine," right? In a nutshell. So it's like, it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, he potentially could just stay there in power. Now that this is it's pretty clear around the world, simply saying that, no, even though you guys did vote me out, I'm not going to leave. It's going to be really interesting to see if they just jump up and just say, "You know what? We're tired. We're done, dude. Boom." And then go after, right? Like, but I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, unfortunately, just because of, one of the things is that they, they work through a lot of stuff. So we'll see what happens. What do you think? Do you think they would rise up and just be like, "Forget this, dude. We're going after this"?
Well, all it takes down there is just, one decent person to do the right thing and whack him. They tried to get that to happen 2 or 3 times over the past couple of years, and it doesn't work. And it's their half-assed attempt or something like that. And it's just a shame because half of Venezuela is now on the streets of Chicago. I mean, people are actually worse off than they were because they're living on the streets of Chicago is not good because they're invading all the other gangs' territories, and they're saying, hey, they're begging for money in places, and the gang members are like, hey, you're ruining the drug trade in our neighborhood, so bang, 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 and it's a terrible thing, and I don't want to make it political or anything like that, but Kamala was in charge of the border. Joe said, oh, she's in charge of the border, and she let in 10 million people. And they're all living on the streets of San Francisco, Chicago. Jesus, what's San Francisco like right now? Go ahead, tell us. And in New York, I saw a report from Kansas City. A whole ton of Venezuelans went to Kansas City because a rumor went around that a slaughterhouse was hiring whoever showed up. They didn't care about it. I don't know if you follow slaughterhouses, but they've had such a poor track record of hiring illegal people. Is that the ICE basically sits outside their businesses now and cards people coming in. It's like, nope, you're going deported. So all these people ended up in Kansas City. And they're like, there's no jobs here for you guys. They're like, what? And they're like, you got to go back to Venezuela. They're like, that's tough. No. Jesus said it's Venezuela in the Mission District. Right. And that's all because of this nuthead Maduro, where people are like, oh, who can be worse than Chavez? Maduro could be. But needless to say, the people that are left in Venezuela, to circle this back to your question, are all using crypto. They're all, I mean,
all of them.
We've had people come in on this show in the past and say, oh, I'm from Venezuela, but I'm living in Colombia now or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, everyone uses crypto.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really, besides the American dollar, it's really the only thing that they can take anywhere, right? Unless you have chunks of gold or silver, and that's a liability to carry on hand. So it's a real interesting situation going on. And the sad part behind it is like, And this is where, like, does America step in and say, okay, enough with this? We're the world's police. And do we say, okay, this is what we're doing. The people voted you out and now you're being a douche. Or do we sit there and say, the people in Venezuela have got to rally together. The gangs have got to come together. You guys have to at least, like, let the Bloods and Crips come together and agree for a truce, right? Like,
Right.
All
right. Well, all right, let's move on, Pedro. What chart you got up there? You got Caspa up there, don't you?
I do got Caspa. And I want to talk about this here real quick. So I mentioned this here before now a few times.
Tank again.
Yeah, man. Did you get out?
Yeah.
Good. All right. So one of the things that I want to bring up, and I've said this now a few times here, but I'm going to reiterate this. Okay. The institutions are involved in crypto. And the way I'm looking at it, I'm looking at, charts between micro caps between $1 million as well as multi-billion-dollar charts. Now, it's really important. As soon as it starts to break, all-time highs or all-time lows, there's a certain way to predict when institutions are involved with this. There's certain algorithms that they use to take stops and to make sure that then they can buy in at low points or sell in at high points. And I'm going to kind of talk about that here real quick. So one of the things I think is we're going to use this here real quick. Now, you see right here, there should be, this is an hour, excuse me. Let me give it 4 hour. This area, they typically go below where there might be stops. So you can see right here, here's a low and here's a low. Now, one way to really be able to determine whether an institution is involved is what they do is they will come in and they'll go below a low. Either right here, they'll go between here and right here. And the way this works is they want to trap people in a sense. So here's shorts. People have gone long from here and are long here. Now it's selling off in Caspa. I believe the institutions are involved in Caspa, but they're more hidden because they want to accumulate. Everything's about accumulation in crypto right now. The next 5 to 10 years in traditional money, they want to accumulate as much as possible in many crypto situations. And so as we see a sell-off, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for it to go between these little bit of areas, stop out the person here, leave this person for now, push it up, create a lower high, sell off again, stop these people out right here at the second, and then rally it back up typically to all-time highs. This is a common trope that happens within institutions because, again, I always have said this. What's the primary thing that institutions are starved for, looking for? That is orders. Can everybody say this with me? Orders. So that means that when they're sitting there and they're playing the market, a lot of times as they're selling off, unless they're going to decimate something, and it's very clear when they do decide to do that, you can see here, and that's when you just see like the death candle, right? That goes all the way down. But, but right now, I don't think there's anything that we're going to see in crypto that's called death candle. Because right now, all they're trying to do is get you to relieve yourself of those coins so that they can swoop in and take the other side and buy those as you're selling. And then keep in on the short pressure as it continues down. So that's one of the things I want to bring this up. And so if you are in a project and you like that project, and everything's going well with it or whatever, but it's tied to, let's say, a major coin like Matic, and it keeps getting decimated, and that community, again, this is not financial advice, but like if you know the community, you know the devs personally, and you know that they're not selling everything off, then go through and be like, you know what, if I see a sell-off, potentially get in on some really low areas, because I mean, right now, Matic is selling off, right? And the sell-off, there's a lot of people here that are like, oh my goodness, our project is getting killed. But the reality is as this thing starts to sell off even further, right? This is institutions, they're buying in as this is dropping, they're buying in, because you can see that these wicks, as it's selling off, you can see that people are buying, they're buying. Right? So it's important to be able to look what's actually happening on the internal side of the charts. Oh, that's it in a nutshell. That's what I wanted to talk about.
What that chart you have up now? Which one is it?
This is Matic.
Oh,
So,
I didn't know you had switched. I was like, all of a
yeah.
sudden, I was looking at the Caspa chart, and I'm like, that's not the same
No.
same chart. Oh, of course, motherfucker.
What?
It's just Matic just dumped from 51 cents to 47 cents because of Bitcoin.
Yes. It's not a bad thing. This is potentially a very
Yeah,
good.
it is when you wanted to sell at 51 cents 2 hours ago.
Oh, gotcha. Understand. Yeah. That's why liquidity is king. You always want to be able to get in and get out.
Yeah, that's what the liquidity map. Let's see if I can bring my screen up here. No, I don't have my. That's the scroller screen.
Speaking of liquidity, do you want to speak about our sponsor today?
I do, and I'd bring it up, but the whole thing's running. They like I said, they cured one problem with the broadcast software, and they introduced another one that just causes things to go slow.
Yay!
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can do this the old manual way here.
All right. Well, as you're doing that, let me go ahead and talk about ETH here real quick until you're ready. Oh, there it goes. Boom. Alrighty. Hopefully it works.
Oh, but I brought it back to. I don't know why it's out of focus.
Sometimes it happens. Also, shout out to the fur community. Jesus is bringing them back. Good to have you guys. NetZ and Cal Street is perfect recipe for Moon.
Cal State.
Oh, Cal State. Oh, yeah, because of their connections with Cal State.
Hey, Drano, I did go back and listen to some of it. And one of the things I wanted you to understand about it is that it's not the first time this has gone on. In fact, if you watch my show, you would notice that I had a guy by the name of Jimmy Lenz on. And Jimmy Lenz is the head of the Masters of Engineering at Duke University for digital assets. Sorry, I thought I was on the screen here, but I'm not. And talking all about their master's programs and the blockchains they use to teach their students. They have a great program. They actually have it in their engineering school itself. It's not in business school or anything like that. They said, you know what, this developing blockchains now actually isn't business. It is an engineering program because you follow the same scientific method in developing it. And so that's a good thing. And Jimmy mentioned that a number of other educators that are doing a similar thing at Princeton, Yale, I think Cornell also, stuff like that. Anyway, but no one, they use lots of different blockchains and lots of different things, but no one has actually picked one and said, hey, everybody, we're partnering with this group. So hats off to MainNetZ for doing that. Yeah, I want to talk about BitFi here. I have no idea why it's blurry down here. But I can't fix it right now. But anyway, BitFi, as everyone knows, is our exchange partner here, and they've come on. They've been very generous, and they're sponsoring Pedro and I at the Toronto Blockchain Futures Convention in August, in which we're going to be broadcasting with Zach Humphreys and Austin Hilton and a couple other guys. Pretty extensively for two and a half days or so. But anyway, BitFi is running a number of promotions right now, of which I would bring them on the screen if my software wouldn't crash, that encourage you to sign up for them and start trading. And in fact, on their spot fees, just regular Bitcoin and all their other things they trade, including the zillion meme coins, there's no fees at all. Their spot market is fee-free for a short period of time. And also if you sign up via the link in the body here, their perpetual contracts are quite cheap right now too. The fees are very low. A good example is I signed up a long time ago in order to get NetZ because you can't buy it on the DeFi, and there wasn't a bridge. I signed up with LBank Exchange on my own. I signed up just on my own. I didn't use anyone's referral code or anything like that. Let me tell you, when you sign up on your own, you get hammered on fees. You don't get any discounts. You don't not part of anyone's special program. So don't go to an exchange and sign up on your own. The fees will wipe you out. Things that you'll get charged $3 to $5 for something, which if you have a referral code that you sign up with, you get charged 3 to 5 cents. So if you've signed up for an exchange, close the account and start a new one with a referral account. In fact, start one at BitFi and use our referral code. Get all kinds of free monies. Literally, you get free money. So those of you who haven't done it, do it. And if you don't know anything about trading on an exchange, come to the comments here and say, hey, I want to learn about this. Pedro and I will be more than helpful with explaining how things work there.
Absolutely.
And even just, we had a guy the other day said, hey, I don't really have any idea what going short means other than, selling something you don't own. But, and it's, well, come on back and we'll have a lesson on what going short means, how you can sell something without owning it. Just like on the black market. When guys come up and say, hey, you want a red Camaro? Yeah, I'll buy it. All right. Hey, Jimmy, go out and steal a red Camaro. Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man, it's interesting. I can remember back in the day where I grew up at, guys would literally put things, when Craigslist first came about, people would take pictures literally of cars, get a buyer, and then they would literally steal it so that they can and they would because where I grew up at, it's like the number one car theft capital of the world, or country at least, and pretty close to the world. I mean, the amount of thefts that happen is nuts, at least when I was there growing. And so I remember one time going, oh man, that's like a good deal. And my buddy goes, dude, I think that's my car. And then I said, and he goes, dude, that's my house. How is that being sold? And dude, I just remember just being like, I was like, oh, like it was on Craigslist. And I just thought it was so funny because it was like, anyways, I digress. What were we talking about? I don't even know. Oh, San Francisco? Wait, what were we talking? I'm trying to remember.
SFC auto sales, always good. Got the good deals. I think we just got shilled a used car lot.
That's not good.
Drano says NetZ ready to take off. It better be, Drano. It better be. That thing needs to come up.
Come
at least
on
just
up.
A little bit.
So real quick, let's check on our good old friend ETH. ETH has come down to our area of support again. It's gonna be really interesting to see if this thing does a little bit bounce off this. It's already done a bounce, but wasn't able to clear a high. So I'm pretty positive we're gonna see ETH come down to that 28, 24.50 area. This area here is a nice little buy area for myself. I'm going to be really excited if ETH gets down to that 2400 to 22 here in the next week or two. So if it does, because we put that lower high in, I'd expect to see this thing sell through at least to that 2500 area, 25 to 24. I'm gunning for. So anyhow,
you're gunning for it.
I'm like, let's go. I know that
you're gunning for it, so everyone in the ETH ETF loses their shirts.
Well, we forget that the institutions go through and they buy it when it's at these lower levels. So
but they don't sell it to their clients at that lower level.
Well, it depends on how prominent that client is. So if that client is, let's say, Tom Cruise.
If it's me, I get the worst prices.
Exactly.
Tom Hurley. Sorry, bad fills for you. Tom Cruise. Oh, look, you got free money.
That's exactly, because I mean, when Tom Cruise buys, he doesn't put $200, $300, $400. No, he comes in with, let's say, 20 million, 50
all
million.
Of his money.
Yeah, and then Goldman Sachs goes, okay, great, thank you, Mr. Cruise. This is what they. Oh yes, and he looks down at his thing because he realizes, oh wait, I just made X amount of money right off the jump. Let me give them more money because they're making me money. Versus $200-$300, it's not. Like they're like, all right, what is this? What can we do with this?
This guy says fur community is here.
Good to have fur.
Fur community is the master shillers. Master, I'm gonna fix that.
They really are. They actually really are.
Styling. Name, font color.
I will be back in a second. Give me one moment.
All right, I'm going to start the Saylor conversation here.
Definitely.
All right, everybody. The beginning of the show here, we had this graphic up here. Saylor says 13 million BTC, $13 million for each BTC. I mean, I don't even want to do the math on the total market capitalization for that. But Jesus, to answer your question, it was by the year 2045. And he said in 21 years, he said it's possible that Bitcoin could be $13 million each. Now, he said it's not going to be. He said, I have multiple plans. I have a bearish plan. I have a nuclear disaster plan if Bitcoin is hacked or whatever. I have a bearish plan, and I have a bull plan. And then I have a super bull plan, or whatever he called it. And I didn't catch all of his speech. This was his speech at Bitcoin 2024. And he spoke about his concepts for Bitcoin and all this type of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And he was talking about using different ratios of GDP to investment in Bitcoin. And then he started talking about other countries that are starting to use it and that kind of stuff. And then he mentioned, of course, and he said this before Trump was speaking, but if countries, not companies, but countries bring it onto their balance sheet, what's going to happen to Bitcoin? And he presented a scenario in which in 21 years, this number over this number here could be $13 million. And shortly thereafter, Trump gave a speech saying, hey, I want to make Bitcoin have a strategic reserve of it, of which I might point out that immediately the Democrats said, in the biggest group of pussies I've ever seen in my life, and the nanny woo-woo tease you in the neighborhood kids, they said, oh yeah, well, we're going to sell it all before that. And sure enough, they moved a bunch of it out of their one wallet into another wallet that's known to sell things like $2 billion. They just came around and said, oh yeah, you can't have it. We're going to sell it. It's like, just pisses you off when you see people act like that. You're like, oh yeah? Well, you can't do that. Anyway, I digress. But the United States isn't the only country that can do that. I mean, Argentina's starting to do that. I mean, El Salvador has already done it, but they can put their whole GDP on Bitcoin, and it's just today's trading range. And other countries, are thinking about it. And when I say Bitcoin, I don't just mean Bitcoin itself. I mean USDT and that type of stuff that's, and other stable coins that are in the Bitcoin sphere. And it's really is, it's possible that a $13 million coin would come, or a multi-million-dollar, or one that's just stratospheric from here.
Dude,
countries like the United States. I mean, if countries just buy them, and put it on their balance sheet, it just sucks up the supply. And you hear me up here all the time talk about there's 21 million Bitcoins, but really there's 2.1 quadrillion tradable units.
Yep.
So all of the Bitcoin could be bought, and the price could not go up unless a country ties it to their GDP and to the value of their fiat, like the U.S. or the euro or something like that. If Zimbabwe does, it doesn't help it at all. And then you have a strategic reserve of U.S. dollars, of Bitcoin, of gold, all these things at the central bank in the U.S. all acting in concert like a liquidity pair. And suddenly it gives much more value to Bitcoin. Think about it, Bitcoin is valuable on its own. Think about pairing, trillions of dollars in U.S. fiat with it, or a couple trillion in euros too, as not just a liquidity pair, but just all sitting in the central bank in one big safety deposit box so that they're together.
Well, this is important to understand.
Then you get numbers like 13 million. Go ahead, Pedro.
No, I was going to say, here's the thing. Like you say, what if? But this is the part I keep bringing up. It's not what if, but when. Because right now, as we know, like you need some type of stable system outside of the US dollar, simply because there's other organizations out there that don't want to do business, even though they need to and they have to. They don't want to. So as it keeps getting more validity and it keeps growing, sooner or later, it's if Trump gets involved, right? If Trump goes to be a president, if he becomes a president, wow, it's really hard for me to speak right now. Anyways, he becomes a president, right? If he becomes the president, he's going to push some part of, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he did put $1 trillion, $500 billion of the assets in a system where you can sit there and say, and literally just make that the floor of Bitcoin. And so if we do it, which he said he's going to do, and $500 billion it's a lot of money, but it's really not. And when you consider the idea behind how much money we actually have flowing back and forth in our economy, especially through the government. So, $500 billion is much. And if we do that, dude, the rest, I mean, Europe's definitely going to put at least $1 trillion or $2 trillion. And the thing is as they buy that amount of money, imagine what $500 billion right now put into Bitcoin, where it would, it'd easily be, I'd be shocked if it wasn't at,
well, it would raise the market cap at least $1 trillion.
Oh, at least, I mean, right now, because the fact is that there's no other liquidity. I mean, it would be nothing but a buy fest.
Right, exactly.
I mean, so there's no sellers going in. So that unless Goldman Sachs is in there going like, you know what, U.S. economy, you just screwed us over. We're now going to sell to this, which isn't going to happen.
Crypto King, thank you for watching our show, Crypto King. I appreciate it. So does Pedro. Vote for Trump. Never vote again or let Harris do the same job she did at the border. All options suck, including all caps, I might add. But I digress.
Well, listen.
Good point, Crypto King. We don't want. We're not having a political talk here today, but you don't want to elect someone that can screw things up more than the other person.
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't think she screwed it up. I think she did exactly what she was planning to do. So it's like she did a great job of what she was trying to do. We just look at it like you screwed it up because it's not behooving to what we want it to be. I mean, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? It's really hard to screw up a door. Either
welcome,
it's
Chuck
open,
Jansen.
Oh snaps! What up, Doc? Shoot, Brewster Million. Brewster's Millions, nice. So it's like that's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to screw up closing a door or opening up a door. Either you leave it open because you have an agenda, or you don't. It's that simple. That's all I gotta say, and we'll leave it right there. Sad for president. Oh, that's funny. Satoshi for president. There you go. There you go. So it's just really interesting to see what's actually happening. Now, let me ask a quick question. Let's throw this out.
For you viewers, my screen's black for a reason, just because something's running slow and I'm switching up something. Go ahead, Pedro.
Tom for president. I could run with that. Actually, Tom, I think you'd be a good president. If you were to run for president, I think you'd be good. I would.
I've watched every episode of West Wing 25 times. And and I got to tell you, those guys do it right. Regardless of the politics, the way they operate with their ethics and morality and the decision-making process and what they do, it like everyone else in the Trump administration that's likely going to happen, or the Harris administration, whatever, needs to go watch
West Wing.
Needs to go watch West Wing and learn how to do things right and how to act correctly and not act in self-interest and make the right decisions for the country. There we go. Sorry, I was having some trouble there with the footers. Tom Chuck says Tom is overqualified compared to the two knuckleheads here. Well, she's a prosecutor. She's prosecuted murderers and stuff, so she can run the country. My God, Chicago has prosecuted 276 prosecutors in the state's attorney's office here, of which maybe one could run that department, of which that person could never run anything else other than, a taco stand.
Dude, you think they could do that?
I mean, to say,
it's hard.
You're a prosecutor,
really
you can be president, is such bullcrap. I mean, you can be a bad prosecutor. Like our prosecutor here is terrible. She lets everyone out of jail. She doesn't prosecute people. She tells people, we're not going to prosecute for these crimes. So everyone goes and commits those crimes. Like, go steal an ATM. She goes, there was only $1,900 in it. So it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, they broke the whole front of the store down. They stole someone's car, a truck, to put a chain on it, drag it out of the store, driving down the street in Chicago like a horse with a criminal tied to the back of it in Western days. And then she's like, nah, was it really a crime? They were just having fun.
Right. Dude.
Oh, you know what, Pedro? Screw the whole crypto thing. We're just going to retool this show to be Tom's complaints. Just Tom's complaining. I bet you we get millions of views. It's called right-wing news. That's what it's called, right-wing news. It's all complaining. It's his fault. His fault. I'm pissed off.
You know what's funny, man?
Chuck says, let ChatGPT run the country. Oh, it's going to someday. And they're going to have little red eyes and titanium arms and be able to travel in time. You know?
Dang, bro. Dude, I was just listening. You know what's interesting about Terminator, bro? Is that you've heard about what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. But basically just they kind of prep us for what they plan to do in the future, right? Dude, so last night a friend of mine hit me up and was like, yo, let's go watch Limitless. I said, all right, dude, yeah, why not? It was a great movie, right? I went back and watched it. Holy crap, bro. You talk about like prepping us for the future. When he's on his genius spurts, right? He talked about all these things potentially that we could see happening in the market that we're currently living in right now. And as I was going back, I was sitting there going like, are you joking me? Like I never caught it. Like they were telling us what they were going to do back in 2000. I think they had flip phones. When did flip phones go out of style? 2006?
Yeah, 6, 7, right in there.
Yeah. When that, dude, I was so shocked of like everything that's happening. And I said, I sat there and I said, well played, guys. You played us well. Like whoever wrote that script and had the genius telling us what they were going to do. And you know what? I feel like the idea of Terminator 2, I hope that's not true. But
man, liquid metal. Whew.
Dude, it would be cool, first of all. I just be like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to die. Okay, cool. But, like, it's just kind of cool, right? Or not even like imagine if they have, like, I know it's going to sound crazy, but learn how to move and clump together quarks to create, instead of liquid metal, like liquid, like being able to. Quarks. Like the fundamental.
Wine bottle quarks?
No, the fundamental fabrics of the micro.
Oh, quarks.
Yeah, quarks.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like
then we're screwed, because then they'll just be able to do anything and override the laws of physics. And by then, it's just like, I'm gonna grab when that happens, I'm grabbing a bottle of bourbon, and sit with my kids and Natasha, and be like, all right, that's it. Let's just drink this until the quarks come.
Until the quarks come. But I think by that time,
that's a movie name. The quarks cometh.
Dude, yes, I think that'd be epic. Either ways, back to Dogecoin. Speaking of Iron Man, who might save us, it is selling off too, and I see it coming back down to this 0.0722 area. This is the next spot. So if we come down into this area, I'm definitely buying a lot of Iron Man's stuff going on. Speaking of X, if you guys don't mind, if you're on X, we're starting to get a little bit of a crowd over there. If you guys could hit those heart buttons, that would be really appreciative. I see that we have quite a few viewers over here.
All right, welcome everyone joining us on X.
Absolutely.
Let's for those of you watching, click through the tweet to the comment section, and it sets up like YouTube. It has a screen and a comment section to the left or to the right, and join the discussion.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It shan't be fun. Yes.
Okay. I'll go and put a tweet there so people know.
Definitely. All right, so jumping back to the current discussion, back to Bitcoin. What's his name, Mr. Saylor here? I've always been kind of amazed by his just belief in just Bitcoin. Like, it's kind of scary in a sense, right? 'Cause he's so pro Bitcoin that it's it's almost like it's religious to him, right? Like in a sense,
Totally.
like, and in a sense, bro, a part of me is almost like fearful in the aspect of like, if it goes, and he's not the only one. He's like one of maybe 1 million people like him around the world. They have just staked everything on him. Like it.
Hold on. I got to stop you right there, Pedro. There's breaking news. Pitmonk is in the house.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Pitmonk, we thought that you probably jumped off the top of the, well, where do you live in England? So the London Tower. You might not die from that, but we haven't heard from you in so long. But good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you. Whatever's going on with your life, financially, I gotta imagine there's some financial issues there with the mainnet Z. But whatever's going on, come back and talk to us. Pedro and I are a breath of fresh air for the regular goings on. Even if you don't want to think crypto and all that. I mean, the most of the day today, we've talked about smack instead of crypto.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, Pitmonk, yes, he does have a lot of eggs in one basket. Saylor has billions of dollars in the basket. And if he's wrong, well, he'll just declare bankruptcy, have the debt written off, because most of the Bitcoin he bought by issuing corporate debt, and not most of it, a lot of it. And even if the worst case happens, he'll still end up with billions of dollars, because that's what happens with rich people. Even if they make the wrong bet, they don't bet the whole house. They borrow money, they use other people's money, or his company will go bankrupt and be like, nah, well, tough shit for that, you know?
Yeah, I'm
and
pretty
in
positive.
his disclosures for MicroStrategy, I mean, nobody's going to be able to sue him if things go wrong, because it says in there, this investment is likely to go to zero. And, it's entirely possible that someone will invent a computer that will be able to break the blockchain before the validators can catch up in technology and blah, blah, blah. And the sun may explode. North Korea may hack my wallet and steal everything. He has every disclosure you could possibly imagine. It was like when Google went public, their IPO actually said in it something to the effect of, the sun may go supernova and you will lose your money. As long as you disclose it, you can't get sued for it. So, but you're right, Pitmonk. But more than that, good to see you, Pitmonk.
Absolutely.
I'm safe, been caring for sick relatives. Well, I'm glad that you have the decision-making capability to do the right thing. And taking care of sick relatives is the right thing. Just like taking care of sick crypto projects.
It's one of those things you just gotta work through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just gotta tough it out.
I've been messing with the colors here in the comment section to try and get one that's easier on the eyes. And I don't have it quite right yet, but
I like that blue though. That blue looks cool.
Yeah, I like the new blue, but it doesn't go with the blue where Chuck's name is. There's two. I need to mess with that a little bit.
It looks cool.
I was going for that cyberpunk look, but it didn't work out. Okay. Where did we leave off here in my list of things to talk about here? Holy shit, I was seeing if I made any more money. Oh, yes, thank God.
Good job. Okay, so real quick.
I've got a Caspa trade on to make my money back that I lost earlier. What do I always preach to you guys? Sorry to interrupt you again, Pedro.
That's okay.
But I always preach to you guys, make sure you have a stop order in if you're trading perpetuals. Have a stop loss, so if you need to go and take your eyeballs off the screen for a minute, like to go to the restroom, or go drop your daughter off at Lollapalooza, you don't lose your shirt. You lose what you can afford to lose, which is usually, your percentage of risk. And the other adage to that is make sure your stop's in the right place. Mine was not. And instead of losing $10, I lost $50, $49, something like that. Of which with Caspa, I've been trading and making like $10 here, $5 here, $10 here. And the bag's been going up. And I'm like, hey, yay. And all of a sudden it goes, and not because the things that Pedro were teaching me went wrong. It was because Tom was stupid. So make sure your stops are in the right place. And I understand it's hard. It's hard. Interfaces are not great. Ultimately every interface has what you're wanting, Pedro, is just the click and drag it here so you know right where it is, and you can drag it before certain parts of the chart.
Yep.
And all is good. And every once in a while you get it wrong. Every once in a while you get it wrong. But fortunately, the powers that be are saying Caspa's coming back up, and Tom's making his money back.
Making that money back. It's really interesting. The old stupid answer. That's funny.
It said double down. No, there's no double downing. No, this is not Vegas. This is not the roulette table in Vegas where you keep doubling down until you're broke.
No, because you can go negative here.
You can lose it all. Oh, I just lost $50. Oops, lost 150. I'll just hit that reverse button. Oh, lost 300. That reverse button on crypto exchanges, never ever use it. In fact, put a piece of tape on your screen, on your monitor, where that reverse button is, and never use it.
Say do not touch.
Because all it is the panic button for people. Now, how do I, Tom? How do you know it's the panic button, Tom? Because I've pressed the panic button in the past. Like a long time ago when we first started this thing, I was just messing around with futures, and I remember having like $800 in the account. And within 2 days, it was at $40. I was like, how did that happen? And I was doing nothing but gambling. I wasn't actually trying to trade. I was like, oh, it looks like it's going up. Go up, and then it would go down. I'm like, well, I better reverse that trade and get out of it because it's going to continue to go down. At that moment, when you press the reverse button, the market also reverses. And you lose twice. You lose twice. Never use it.
Unless you know what you're doing. 100, 1,000 on red always. Hey, there we go. You know, it's interesting. I'm looking at this right now, and looking at Ton. Ton is in position, man, to sell off here, man. And this is kind of exciting for me because I've been waiting for a good sell off with Ton. If we can't stay above this weekly 200 period moving 20 period moving average, man, this thing we should see this thing kind of do a little plummet, at least down to that $5 mark. And then on the monthly here, again, it's the 530-ish area. So this is not to say I hope that we see a sell-off, but man, that 520, 530 area here is looking sweet for me because I've been waiting for this thing to come down for a while so I can buy in at around that $5 to $3 mark area. Anyhow, so to go back to what we were saying here, in relationship.
Wait, I have a quick question for you about Ton.
Yes.
Someone asked me this a while ago, and I didn't have an answer to them. Does anyone know what Ton stands for? Is it like Telegram only network, or does anyone have any clue what it means, or is it just a name? Could be just a name.
And you say we're just friends. Oh baby, you.
Oh baby. Oh, cool. Was that the Fat Boys?
No, the Fat Boys, bro.
Oh
yes.
baby, you got what I
need. Cause
you say he's just a friend.
You say he's
oh
just
baby, you.
Oh baby, you.
That's one of the best songs,
dude. Anyway, sorry. Side note. So, I'm looking up what does Ton mean. What?
BTC, Bitcoin on base. It might make sense just to get some in case it catches on. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday we had the lead dude, community takeover guy, Brian Johnson from Bitcoin on Base here dude. On the show. It was an excellent show. Learned a lot about the project, but also had a good discussion with Brian about all sorts of things in the market.
Very knowledgeable. I was really impressed with him. Even from a trading standpoint, he was able to kind of hold his own and kind of talk about certain things. And I was pretty impressed with the man. I mean, you know, like I've heard him talk a couple times, and it's funny is we both have similar past childhood. So I know it's very tough overcoming those mental situations that can happen. So to see how well balanced he is as an individual is very impressive as well. We'll just leave that alone. Okay, so what does Ton mean for Telegram coin? All right, we'll see if this thing helps us out here. You know, I've been using Perplexity .ai. Dude, I have to admit, I feel like it's better than Gemini. It's better than Copilot. I mean, or chat GPT. Like it's just I feel like it's just an overall better AI system. TON stands for the Open
I just screwed that up. Hold on.
It's all good. It's all right. All right. So, but while I have it, can you just move that? Because it literally looks like.
Yeah, there we go.
There we are. Nice. There we go, mate. Okay.
Trying something new with the comment section here. Let's try this one. Yeah. Hey, there we go.
Hey, Mr. Jesus.
Tons of scammers. That's what it means. Sorry, go ahead.
So it means the open network is what it means. TON, the open network.
The open network. All right. Well, I didn't even know if it was going to be an English thing, but apparently it is. Troublesome Creek. Welcome. Doesn't have a dang thing to do with Bitcoin though. Anyway, Troublesome Creek. Thank you for putting that message on the comment board a while ago, and I don't know if you saw it, but I promise not to do that again. Thank you for the advice. Pedro, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but Troublesome gave me some good advice for the show, and I'm taking it. And I apologize to him for being a dork on the air about it.
Ooh, there we go. Hey, one thing I love about us as a crew is that we always admit like when we're wrong, where things are wrong. We don't sit there and try to fake the funk. Be as honest as possible. Sometimes, like if your wife asks you, does this make my butt look big? You always say, no, you look great.
No, you look fantastic.
Fantastic. Get over here, woman. You know what I'm saying? Try to go for a little snooky snook, right? So, as honest as possible. Because sometimes if you're too honest, it just takes your life away. Anyways, so enough about that. So talking about our friend Saylor, talking about our friend Saylor. Saylor has this religiosity to crypto, in particular Bitcoin, to the point where it's almost it's kind of scary, right? Because and I do think he definitely has other side ventures, right? Just in case if it doesn't work out. But he's gotten so many people to buy into Bitcoin because of just his own personal belief, right? Like you've heard the saying, if you're a salesman, if you don't believe in it, don't sell it because you're not going to be able to sell it well.
Right.
Right. Well, Saylor's at a point now where he's so like the world knows, like there's Bitcoin and then you have, Mr. White who created it. That was a joke. And then
Mr. White.
What was his name? The guy who said he could barely even speak blockchain. What's the guy's name? Who said he
Al
created
Gore?
older? No.
That was the internet. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the internet. But he actually is the one who kind of pushed to get it going. So I mean, he can legitimately say that. Why am I forgetting the guy who claimed to have created Bitcoin and
Craig Wright?
Craig Wright. There you go. Craig White. Anyway, besides Mr. White, which I was an inside joke and I just killed that joke. It's not even funny anymore. Is
timing is everything, Pedro. In more than one thing, but it does include jokes.
Yes, absolutely. But it's Michael Saylor. So it's like if you are remotely into crypto, you're gonna know who Michael Saylor is most likely because he's the guy who's the crypto nut, And so it's one of those things like if this thing goes to zero, do you think that he would feel guilty for getting all those people into Bitcoin? It's a long lead up to that simple question.
No, he would not. He would not feel guilty about it at all.
No, he would not.
No more guilty than Jesus would be telling everyone to buy fur for the 7,000th time in the past 3 days.
Is that the guy that sails
boats?
Yes.
Nope.
You're right on.
That's you're thinking of the guy from Oracle.
Oh, you're
Oracle
being serious. Troublesome.
Did you not put that order in? Oh shit, Tom, you idiot.
It's funny. Yeah,
I'm degenning over here on this screen over here, trying to make a little money in this volatile market. And I was like, all right, it's good. The market's coming back down to the 21. moving average. And it's going to bounce off it or going to go through it. It bounced off it, and I was going to wait just one tick more to confirm my thoughts. And instead of buying, I talked to Jesus over here, and it goes up the whole range I wanted it to in that period.
Larry Edison on Oracle. Yeah, he's a huge sailor. Yeah. What's funny is I used to be a sailor on the Polar Star, and served about 4 years of my life, 2 tours down to Antarctica, and then they moth bucket it. They let it chill, and then started using it for spare parts, and then revitalized it. Then I got off of it because I did not want to go another 2 tours down to Antarctica. But it was real interesting. I've had real sailing experience, right? Like on small boats, big boats, kind of. But I've never done those small little, like, where you're pulling the lines, bro, and you're holding on to the sail and it's catching wind. I'm just like, dude, it freaks me out, dude. Like, I'm like, dude, I know how big those swells get, man. And to sit there and do like Moana thing, dude, not even close. Yeah,
that's not my idea of fun. My idea of sailing is like going from one Caribbean island to another, because there's a bar here and then there's the bar there. And there's a nice beach because Mrs. Striking will like that beach. And then we'll sail over there. And then there's a beach there with a bar. And then we can go over there. None of this wave stuff. Like waves, no. I did that on Lake Erie. And I don't know if you know anything about Lake Erie, but it's the shallowest Great Lake. And shallow Great Lakes mean that waves are, the frequency is higher of the waves. They're closer together. And I had to learn. I'm actually, I have a little Coast Guard in me too, Pedro. You probably didn't know. I am a Power Squadron. I passed the Coast Guard Power Squadron class in order to navigate by instruments.
Oh, wow.
Because where my dad had the boat on Lake Erie, they bought a boat just so they could get to the island in the middle of it where all the fun and recreation was. And I was 14, and they needed someone else to drive the boat, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that. I'm glad I didn't put that position in. It just tanked. All right. So anyway, and so in order to do that, you had to have someone on the boat had to be certified.
Sober. Oh, sorry, certified.
Yeah, certified to operate the boat at night or in inclement weather when you can't see. And so my dad and I both took the class, and it was back in the day when there was no computers or anything. They gave you a map, and you had to draw. You had to use your watch and draw. You're going to go this speed for this far at this angle and then turn in this way. So you had to navigate through the islands just with a map without seeing, Mm-hmm. And obviously this is in a classroom, not in a boat. And I got to the end of the test, and I was like, oh, I think I did pretty well. My dad's like, got his arm around me. He's like, well, son, that was a hard test. It's okay if you don't pass. You can try again. It's very difficult. Maybe you and I can study and stuff like that. And the guy comes over and says, hey, you got Tom Hurley, you got the highest score in the class. My dad's name is also Tom. And my dad's like, really? I did? And he's like, no, Junior. And I was like, yay!
He's like, you let it squirt.
And so then I would navigate the boat across the Lake Erie. But I bring this up because the waves were, if it was fine, you could go 25 knots, but a lot of times you could go 5 knots and it's
yeah.
Only had one incident, just one incident. Well, Camp Perry is up there on Lake Erie, and they have a firing range. And the camp has an exclusion zone on the lake not to go on. And then it's not just when they're using it, it's just don't go there. And it's on the maps and all that type of stuff. One day we're coming home from putting bay at night. I'm driving along, and all of a sudden a searchlight. No, I'm sorry, on the radio. Radio comes on Marine Channel 16. Pleasure craft, such and such, north of blah, blah, blah. You're entering the Fort Perry zone. Please exit immediately. And I'm thinking, ooh, I wouldn't want to be that guy. All of a sudden a searchlight, like the brightest thing I've ever seen in my life, lights up the whole boat in my eyes, like, oh my God. And then on the radio, where the guy says, pleasure craft, we mean you.
You're the only one.
And I realized I was navigating at I forget the direction, but I was navigating at 70 degrees instead of 50 degrees. And so over a few miles, I had strayed off course a lot. And I was like, sorry. I was like, I got on the boat. And then when I was 14, I had a voice like this. Sorry about that, I'll be on. Guy comes back. Is there an adult on that boat? I was like, yes, they're right here. Whoops.
That's
Went
funny.
into Fort Perry.
That's
This market is nuts. I'm watching the Caspa chart over here on this screen, and it is volatile.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is it's the market makers. What they're doing is they're cleaning everyone out.
yes.
Thankfully, I don't have a position in, so I'm just watching. And they're like, all right, we're giving people hope here. The market's coming back. It dropped huge. It's coming back, and now, as the old adage goes, they're pulling the rug out from under you. And then they pull the rug out, and then everyone's like, and they sell, clear out some stops, and then they're like, oh, now that all the liquidity's moved out of the way, now we'll just hit the buy button and boop, pop it right back up. And then you know what they do? They do it again, and everyone FOMOs in and gets wrecked again.
Let's see if I can get a little bit of fun on this here real quick. Let's check out.
I'm on the minute chart on Caspa.
All right, let's play here. Good old Caspa.
Let's trading. Bitcoin on base, getting a little healthy bag and enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
We
let's
should get a little healthy bag. But the problem is that Pedro and I are using our show bags to help with the expenses of the show coming up in August in Toronto. So we're the powder's a little dry right now, as they say.
Give a second.
And that does not mean send us any. We don't want you to send us any. Don't do that.
Unless you want to on your own situation.
Like if you send it from your own self, not soliciting it, but if someone, a number of times people said, "Oh, I'll send you a bag from the developer wallet," and I'm like, absolutely not. Don't want any of our show wallets linked with developer wallets or anything like that.
No, that's not cool. Where is it at, Casper? There we are. Here we go. 5 minute. Okay, so we are definitely playing ping pong.
Jesus says I need a beer while sailing. That's my idea of sailing. I actually watch a YouTube channel called Sailing Doodles. This guy that goes around the Caribbean with a nice sailing catamaran. It's just like I need to aspire to that type stuff. And he almost every scene he has a beer in his hand, and you're like, yes, that.
That's what I want.
All right. Whatever chart you're on, you need to get on the minute chart.
Yeah, like I said, but you don't know. The minute chart is definitely not where the trade is taking place on.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about degen volatility here.
Okay, so you can see what they're playing off of. So you can see they're playing off of the 89 and 100 and 200. So every time we come and we play off of that, boom, we see a sell-off, right? Look, see this? Yeah. Boom, 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 pop, boom,
Although
boom, boom,
they just
boom,
broke
pop.
through it.
That 100 is still looking like it wants to sell off here. So let's check out where they put this big buy in right here. You can see right here, look, big buy, boom, comes sell off, put a big buy, hit it, sell off. So what's the primary thing I always talk about? Where the demand wicks potentially that would stop us, or an axis, right? And you can see most likely they're going to be tapping this 200 to drop it. So you could either go long to here and then short from up here. Now, key is I want to sit there and see where is the primary SMA that is being used. And you can see that is the 8 on the 30 minute. You can see here, you can line up with
it's racing up to that 200. It's racing up to that 200. That's your short spot, isn't it? It's going to bounce off that 200.
That's what I'm looking at up in this area, and I'm seeing where would it be.
That's not the 200.
So this hour chart, the hour and 2 hour, the 30 minute and hour chart is really where this trade is taking place on. See, you can see this right here every time it comes and taps it on that 30 minute. So you can play between the hour and 30 minute here. It's that simple. Oh, there we go. We hit the 200, right? And we saw a sell-off. Let's check out the 1. See, there you go. Boom, nice little boom, sell off, came back down.
This is interesting. What chart are you using? What service?
This is just TradingView.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to test something here.
Testaroo.
Wait, hold on. Oh. All right, now go along. Wait a minute, hold on. This is really interesting.
What are you looking at?
I think there's a timing differential between the two.
Probably. BTC community here. What's up, gents? What's up? What up, Anthony? ¿Qué pasa, señor? It's good to have you.
There's not. It's just maybe it's the lag from the screen capture. No, because yours was ahead of mine for a minute there. Like when I looked over, yours said bought back.
Oh, it was bouncing off, coming down. So, like I said, it's hitting that. It's following that 30-minute, that 200 period on the one. You can see here that this is what
Anthony,
it's
thanks for joining us from the Bitcoin on Base community.
Absolutely.
Pedro and I are doing a little Caspa trading right now.
Yeah. Boom. I got $2. Yay, sell. Whoop whoop. Like I said, singles and doubles right now in a volatile market. The most you're maybe looking for is a 2-to-1. You clear your 1-to-1 every day, right? Boom, 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 boom. Thank you. Have a good day. 1 to 2-to-1s, right? And we're looking for singles and doubles. That's it, right? And also, you want to capture.
What do you mean by that, Pedro?
So, for example, right here is, I guess the market is selling off. We pull back up. So this thing ended red. So I would expect to see this thing, if it goes up first, right? It should, because we're in a down market. You can see the majority of these moving averages are above us, which means that it's most likely going to push the market down. You can see that we're following this pretty closely, because when you look at this, you can see we came and tapped the 8, and we sold off. So now when it comes back again, we're going to see it. So what I want to do is I want to line up a supply where there are sellers with the SMAs, so that I can correlate that with the trend down. I do not want to look to go long. As long as we are below the moving averages, I want to go short, because that's the primary trend.
Right.
So it's most likely you're going to see lower volume to go up and higher volume to go down. So that means you want to capture the market as it is in a sell-off position, right? If we're moving up, I'm trying to correlate. Remember, I'm correlating lines. I'm trying to put as many lines together. So lines that go horizontally.
Pedro Damas, ladies and gentlemen.
FB Blast, what's up? What's up?
Hey, he blasted on Facebook. He says shared it to 450,000. What is interesting that what you shared it? Did you share the YouTube feed or our Facebook feed, or what did you share? Wherever you shared it, I'll go reshare it. My 8 followers.
I'm still lost.
Still lost.
All right, look at it like this. Looking at your crystal ball, Pedro, laugh out loud. I need the lesson. Thank you. No, man, most def. I'm always done. Oh, you shared it to YouTube. Oh, you shared our YouTube channel to your
Thank you very
Facebook
much,
page.
Anthony. Appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. And with that amount of people, man, I look forward to seeing them come over. That'd be awesome, man, if we could see a ton more.
I don't know about the quality of the 450,000. We're still at 7.
That's all good, man. I'm thankful for people to stay even.
Yeah, thanks for the effort, though. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
every little bit counts.
Absolutely. And you never know who's watching in those 450,000, and that's the truth.
For all of you that haven't hit the like button,
absolutely,
we're just gonna ban you if you haven't.
And 5 memes groups. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. We do Meme Monday, where we go over any memes that. So definitely, man, love to shill people's projects. And one thing we always talk about is that we don't know the quality of the meme. We don't know. This thing could go to 0. We don't know, right? But we're gonna give people a shout out, right, if they need it. I have 26 meme pages. Dang, brother. Whoop whoop. You guys make it easier to listen to this with laughs and giggles. No, I'm joking. I was trying to be funny. Dude, by the way, I was actually listening to this kid the other day. I thought was hilarious. What was the guy's name? He was talking about crypto, but he was just like, he was a riot, dude, just cracking jokes and talking about like just the knuckleheadness of degenning and just like what we do. And you guys, like, no other group in the world that literally are multi-billionaires that are just full of the most degenerate and like messed up persons you can imagine, but you get us together and we make billions of dollars. And I was like, that is so freaking true. Anyway, speaking of giddy, I was laughing like a little school kid, man, just being, because it was so on point. It was so true. It's for reals, right? Like Ant, like, it's Ant. Is that cool if I call you Ant? If that's cool with you, let me know. If not, it's cool. All right, cool. I see the hundreds. Yeah, man. It's cool. I do like the degenning aspect of just able to get in and get out and play around with this. It's just fun. Now, jumping back here, Rook,
hold on, Anthony. DM me on Telegram if you haven't joined the DYOR Media Striking's Crypto Smackdown Telegram room. And if you can't find it, then you shouldn't be in crypto. But find me, find that room, and you can find me, and you can DM me. DYOR Media Striking's Crypto Smackdown.
We're also, the link is in the show notes. So
I don't know if the link is in there.
It is. I see it. Striking Crypto Smackdown. Yep, it's be there, and I'll just show it right here. Yeah, right here, bro. You can see it right there. See? DYOR Telegram Striking Crypto Smackdown. And then we have our website.
Oh yeah, the link is in there. How about that?
How about that, peoples? Yo, I want to share this thing because I've actually been just enjoying this. I don't know if anybody know about these guys. I would love to get sponsored by these guys. That discovered the best podcast across.
God, I thought it said find that poo.
Oh, find that pod. Listen, if you guys want to find good pod, I have found so many good podcasts from just these guys, dude. They really do good work. Like, they really do look, and if it's trash, like they even, like, there's one of them where they talk about trash podcasts, not in a negative way, just being like, all right, look, y'all need to work on this, right? And I respect that, right? Like, just the fact is that I think they do a good job finding. So if you guys want to find some good podcasts or stuff like that, look up Find That Pod. And I feel like it's a good source of just podcasting, what they got. Some of the things I disagree with, but you're not going to find anything perfect. So, but yeah, I thought it was really great. Anyways,
John Miller on Kick says, "Hey dude, how's everything?
What's up? Oh, by the way, we got a new DG for Fur. What's up, DG? Good to have you, bro. What's up, John Miller? Glad to have you, brother. Is that the John Miller
thanks
band?
For joining the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Is that the John Miller band? Oh, what is it? What they call the John Miller band?
Keep thinking this Steve Miller band.
That's where we go. The Steve Miller band. Yeah. Yes. Side note, I want to bring this up here real quick. I am loving what ICP is doing. We're seeing the sell-off come along here. So I'm expecting it to come down to these lower levels again, which is that $6 mark, $7 mark, and potentially that $5 mark, which is I've been gunning for. We talked about that hitting that area. I don't know when.
ICP?
When it was back up at the highs of $20, remember, you were like, where do you think it could come back down to? And I said, honestly, about $5 mark. And people are like, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. And I said, well, I mean, I'm pretty good at calling this, and I could be wrong, but and I've got a pretty good high close ratio here, you know what I'm saying? And so it's coming back down, so I'm excited to see that volume pick up down to the downside, because I want to be picking up some more as it comes down to that lower areas, because ultimately I know there's a lot of fluff coming out of internet stocks, and a lot of stuff coming out of the AI crypto projects, but I just don't think it's going to go down. How is your day treating with you guys? It is treating us well, man. Glad to have you, dude. Most def. These are good. We're just going over just coins and just the normal stuff happening in crypto news. That's typically what we do. We kind of go over certain things, and it's a pretty fun. By the way, dude, I wanted to bring this up here real quick, and this is kind of late news, but I want to kind of reiterate it. Remember when Trump said at the Bitcoin,
you are fake news.
Hey guys, enjoying the show. Thanks, man. Glad you're here, glad you're here, DG. So when he was saying how he would literally make America the crypto center of the world, I thought about this. If that does, let's say, he wants to get everything to go through crypto, I started realizing if he's going to push it like that, which I think he'll be met with a ton of resistance by the Democrats, but potentially if he does do that, that means, bro, that he's going to create a type of monetary system in which we should be able to transact our coinage with paying taxes. And I know people have tried to do that already, but that's going to be something that he's going to push. And I'm just wondering, from a financial standpoint, do you think that it would, and I think this is where I think you'll know, because I don't. What do you think? What would it take from a financial standpoint? Do you think it would have to be a complete overhaul of what we're doing currently, or do you think it would actually be something that would be seamless? Because if he can get it going,
yeah, they can make it seamless. I bet.
Really?
I don't think they'd have to really overhaul anything. They could make it fairly seamless. I mean, the U.S. government has contractors that are so good at things. They have what's that company, Service Master or Service something? That they're the guys that when we started Obamacare, in 3 days, they had a whole website up and running in a call center with 10,000 people in it, ready to go, in the U.S. call center, not overseas. And everything worked great and all. They can work these things out so easily. Ooh, it tapped off that 200-day again.
Told you.
Not 200-day, 200 period.
Period. Yeah, I got you.
It tapped it and it just went down, put a little short on.
Good. Yeah, you made money. So check this out. Montenegro. Why can't I say the word? Montenegro. Wow, that was so hard. To extradite Do Kwon to South Korea, rejecting U.S. request. How about that?
That's good. That's a good thing. Just not.
Yeah.
The world needs to know that they can count on justice also, and not just someone getting vacuumed up by the U.S. system, never to be seen again. I mean, really, Do Kwon. I mean, there was more Koreans that got hurt than anyone else. Even though people like Rand from Crypto Banter lost $100 million, but he was in South Africa. But a lot of the Koreans, they got hammered. A lot of projects were based on that in Korea.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Is that
all right.
it?
I'm degenning.
Oh, you're all squirrel.
Oh, John Miller turns out to be a scammer.
Oh, John. Why do you gotta do that, Mr. Miller?
Everyone on Kick can't be a scammer.
Oh, that's so sad. My Waldo whip. Whoop, whoop. That's what I'm talking about. I'm being a degen at the auction. My cars, y'all like. What's up? Love it. Yo, while you're there, throw out our name to all your friends who deal in cars. Let them know to watch us. You know what? It's always the small little things you don't ever think about that just.
John, hold on. Sorry, Pedro. John, if you're not a scammer, I'm saying why are you asking questions like that? Well, how long have you been trading? That's the classic scammer thing. Hi, how you doing? How long have you been trading? I'm literally on the air talking about trading with my co-host who's an expert in this. That's not the question to ask.
Well, maybe he's just wanting to know. Why are you cutting him off like that? He just simply want to be like, hey man, how long you been trading? That's the first thing I always ask. When somebody says they're a trader, I'm like, how long you been trading? That's the first thing
I'll give him a break. I apologize for calling you a scammer, John. Ask us some good questions.
I'm not like the bot like all of these. All right, cool. That's cool. That's cool beans. I've been trading for about 20 years. I've been consistently profitable for about 5, right? It took me a minute to get there, but I kept going. I really found I always listen. Anytime I talk I shout out my coach, because my coach honestly kind of put everything together. It was like I had a mosh posh of puzzles that put together, but I hadn't brought him together, right? And he's like, look, you need to do this. And I was like, oh my goodness, yes. So shout out to Easy Money, Chris Koopman over on Easy Money on Twitter if you want to find him. He does not sell his product. He's only literally by referral. And if you go and check him out, you have to pass his thing. If he don't like you, which I've seen him turn down friends of mine because they're just dumb, and I love them, but they're dumb. And but his name is Easy Money 2050 on Twitter. Enough of that as I shout him out. So I've been trading for a while now and had a good time. So goodbye. Wait, why is he saying goodbye? Wait, what happened? Oh, anyways, it's good to have you, dude. Hopefully you'll come back and we can have fun again, if that's okay. Anyways, so
I banned him.
Why?
Pedro uses everyone that joins us on Kick as a scammer.
You don't know that. It could have been something big. I had a guy. I called a guy because I was looking for some stuff, and I couldn't pronunciate the name correct of the business. And I was looking, and the guy was like super rude to me. And he's like, "Hello," and I was thinking, "Is this so and so roofing?" Because I needed some stuff, and but I couldn't pronunciate it correctly, and my name always pops up when I call, so it's like Pedro Garcia, right? When I call,
right?
And he's like, "Oh, you can't even say the name right, gosh!" And he spazzed out on me, and I was like, "What a douche!" Like, I was like, "I'm just gonna go to another business then. Like, I'm not gonna go through him to get a roof. Like, screw him. Like, you're gonna be that rude." And because somebody can't say your business name right, or you don't understand. Maybe Mr. Miller was one of those guys who just was a good dude, but we just pushed him off like as if he's like chopped liver.
It's the same script I get in my DMs 40 times a day. Hi there. Well, how are you? How long you been trading?
You never know them.
They always come up with a here's my referral code for my Ponzi scheme. They're all like that.
I'm always careful, man. I never shoot first. Always ask questions, right? I'm one of those guys, and I still talk with those guys. I'm like, hey, so what do you need? And as soon as they prove themselves to be a scammer, then I bounce. I delete it. But I never, because you never know. There's been times where I was trying to connect with people, and I was like, man, this sounds like a complete tool here. Like I sound like a complete tool. But then the guy opened up, and it helped me out. I'm kind of friends with. I mean, when I say crypto friends, with some people that I would never have thought I'd be crypto friends with, literally because they interacted with me and I wasn't a scammer. Over here. Anyhow, so I just thought it was really interesting about Do Kwon, though. Like, real interesting, right? Like, and the fact that I think if he was to be extradited to the U.S., that he would have a little 4x4 cell down in an island called what is it, Guantanamo Bay? What's that called? Guantanamo Bay. So it's just like, it's one of those funny things. So let's check back here with another one. So as everybody knows, I really like Crow. I think Crow is another one, just like Base, that they've got a great DeFi system and what's going on. And it's coming down to my area again that I'm looking to be purchasing it. So for me, that's 0.079-ish area down to this 0.538. I could only hope if it comes back down to this level here. I mean, granted, that'd be cutting half of what it would be sitting, but it would make my bags really happy. Just simply seeing it come back down to this level. I'm like, please come on down. So I'm expecting to see some type of follow through back down these lower levels. Also, I know we've talked about Gala. Gala is coming back down to our area as well that we've talked about. And we talked about this way up here, or when we came down here, remember? Because it came back down and we saw it push back up. So it was at 5 cent mark. And I said, honestly, I expect to see it come back down to this dollar or 2 cent, 1 cent area. And you're like, what? That's crazy. I said, yeah, well, I'm expecting it. So it's coming back down to our area here. So I'm gonna be picking up some Gala down at these lower levels because I think it may be a dead Ponzi scheme, but just like I've talked about this earlier, the top 100 cryptos are definitely going to be in the area that the institutions are looking to be buying, because they buy in bulk whenever they buy, because there's so much money they have to put into the market.
I forget what Gala was up. What's behind? What's its deal to the metaverse token?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, that with yeah, I honestly like Gala.
Jesus just picked up a Mini Cooper at the auction.
What is? Boom. Here we go. So, oh shoot. Dude, that's dope. Convertible, like I love a good convertible. Dude, I always love it. Love it. You know what I'm saying? The first time I ever I got a coupe when I was in the military. I was 23 years old. Go into 23. Yeah, I was 23 because my buddy was 25 and I couldn't rent. I think you have to be 25 to rent, right?
Right, at the time, there was an age thing, yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, what? What the? And my boy's like, dude, I'm 25. I go, yes. And so like we got a coupe and we were driving around Hawaii, dude, all over, dude. It was so much. Yeah. Well, at the time I had no hair. Top down, let the breeze hit your. Yeah, absolutely. It feels good.
He had the military cut back then.
Oh yeah.
Where were you, at Pearl Harbor for a while or something?
No. We were. I'm trying to think. Pearl Harbor. Yeah, we could have gone to Pearl Harbor. I didn't actually. That's one thing I do miss. I wish I would have done. No, but it was just driving around. It was Honolulu, so is where we really. Well, Honolulu.
I thought you meant your Toasty boat
Kona?
went out there.
Oh yeah, well we did. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly. We pulled in. The Coast Guard did. I'm on the Polar Star. And I forget exactly where we pulled in, but it was great, dude. We got to stay there for pretty much a month of my life for free. And like as long as you went in on your duty days, you could go out. And I had this stupid stuff that I did was crazy. Let's let the breeze hit that flat top haircut. Yeah. High and tight, baby. Mine was more like the frohawk. You know what I'm saying? Like it was definitely. Dude, I was more of a Jersey boy. People used to call me literally Mike the Situation, because that's how much of a dumb guy I was. So I was all yoked up and a dork. So anyhow, yeah, those were fun times, good times. But I do like Gala. Gala is primarily a cryptocurrency token that powers the Gala Games ecosystem. This is a platform focused on blockchain-based gaming and entertainment. Here is a detailed overview of what Gala is about, and I'm not going to go over that, but you heard it here, and that is from Perplexity.ai. If ever anybody knows anybody who knows the Perplexity AI guys, I just want to see if we can make sure to get sponsored by them somehow, some way. Maybe one day. Hoorah. Okay. I'm from New Jersey. Laughing oh man, you know how it is, man. Are you still
from New Jersey too? I'm from the Shore area. From the Shore. Exit 109. 109. Exit 109.
109. I'm actually, man. If you're still out there, man, I go there to a crypto thing out there sometimes. So man, let's meet up sometime. We'll go over and hang out. Grab a couple beers over there. Tell Miss Striking, bless you.
Pedro says bless you.
A blessing, a blessing. Here we go. So, here's one question I have for you, Mr. Hurley. When it
Yes,
comes
sir.
to, or dang, I forgot to mess it up, Mr. Hillary,
Come on. It's 3 syllables, Pedro. 3
Hillary,
syllables.
Hillary,
Her, her, la,
her. Don't be scared.
her, la, he. 3 syllables. It's Irish.
It's Irish. It is Irish. Look at the Irish. As I jump up and do my little 2 heel kick. Irish, dude, I just totally was racist right
Anthony,
there.
I'm in Chicago right now. I live in Chicago with the missus here, and we also live in Ottawa, Ontario. But it's Irish. Hurley. The H is kind of silent when the Irish say it. You know, as my forebears used to say back in the land of green. Hurley.
Now,
I can't do an Irish accent anymore.
Hurley.
The forebears are so far from it. They're like, it's like they came over in the first wave in the early 1800s. It's not like, oh, well, maybe you're still good relatives. No, there's just still one bar over the name Hurley, and everyone else is
Hurley. Well, Hurley. I'm just trying. Look at his noggin. It has its own circumference. I'm so sorry to see. Anybody? Never mind. I was gonna. Mr. Austin Powers. Anybody? Nobody. Okay. See, we're dating ourselves to being here. All right. So check this out.
While chewing potatoes, right? That's right. The potatoes. And there's no O on the name Hurley anymore because, as they say, we took the bread, meaning we took the money from the English, dropped the O, then they sent us off.
Get him out of here. So here's some breaking news, which is really interesting. All right, Senator Cynthia Lummis has introduced a historic Bitcoin strategy reserve bill aiming to secure 1 million Bitcoin under the U.S. Treasury.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you about but the other person was like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to sell it before you can, we're going to get rid of that stuff.
Well, they may, which is totally cool. Oh, this is what you were talking about. This is what I missed. I'm sorry. That's what you were saying. $1 million would then shoot, or what? Excuse me. 1 million Bitcoin. I missed all of that. That's literally what you were saying for Senator Cynthia Lummis. I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, she was part of it. She was part of the discussion. We were talking about Trump saying that he was going to not let the U.S. government sell any of its Bitcoin. And then that lady introduced the bill to make it part of our strategic reserve, and that's when the Democrats came out and said, "Oh yeah, well we're going to sell it all before you do that." Well, they'll just buy it back. Just print some money, buy it back. I mean, the Fed has the infinite money machine. Just print more money, buy it back.
Dude, the Treasury, dude. But here's the thing, though. Them doing that would be the most epic trade ever. Like, because them going through, if that was to actually get pushed through, okay, the amount of buyers that would come in would be so ridiculous. Like, the rest of the world would, because in America, it takes forever for us to, get anything done in Washington, right? Like, legit. And by the time that got, because I think that would actually pass. I do think that would actually pass. The rest of the world had already front ran us. And so, our 1 million Bitcoin reserve would push. I mean, by the time we get the money to actually buy it, I would see we would probably have a 300,000, 400,000 Bitcoin by that time. So we're buying each Bitcoin for $300,000, $400,000. How much money would that? Just let's say even 300,000, 300,000 a million. Can't think what that would is.
But math brain starting to leak out. Now, speaking of brain leaking out, there's not a lot of food going in here because it's getting late. We started a later show today because I had to take my daughter to the great Lollapalooza festival. But we're getting late in the show, so for those of you still watching, if you've got anything you want us to bring up, now's the time to do it. Or forever hold your peace until... What, Pedro? Until what?
Until tomorrow. Oh, no, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow is Friday. That would be Monday. or until
Tomorrow.
Full Rant Friday.
There you go.
On on Friday, we are going to, you come one, or one come all. You guys come to Friday afternoons where we do Full Rant Friday, where you can come, and this is where Tom lets me out of this little square above his head, and I'm able to talk and give a full rant about things that bother me, things that hurt me, whether it's my crypto portfolio, which is at break even, and or it is my little toe that I stubbed on a rock because my grandma said, get over here and do this. And I said, no. Either way, you can rant whatever you want, and you come and you talk your rant. So that would be tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Come all, come one.
Eastern Daylight Time.
Daylight Time, as Tom likes
Eastern
to
Standard Time is a different time zone in Western Indiana for half the year.
for half the year.
I used to live in it. Drove everyone crazy.
Crazy. It'd be crazy there. But on the back end, again, that's tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. And if you would like, come rant your rant. It's a fun time. And I pretty much let anybody up to come and talk. You can talk whatever you want to say, as long as you're not completely racist or completely idiot. And I'm the kind of the detour of that. So, sorry.
Pitmonk, it has been great to see you back in the comment section. Please come back and join us. Whatever you're working on, even if you're working on nothing, just come listen to us, and we'll raise your spirits. And really, since you're English, we'll tell you, just go get some gin and be done with it, okay? head down to London, hit some of the distilleries. Mrs. Striking, what's the name of that gin the family likes? Oh, Sipsmith. Go down to Sipsmith, get you some good stuff, and then haul it back up to where you live. It just helps a lot. Let's see. Anthony says, another great show, gents. Thank you very much. Hope we entertained all of you today.
You. Absolutely. Hope we did. Until next time.
Pitmonk says, I've not been down or upset. You're English. You're just pissed off all the time. Been miserable. Rah, 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 rah. Why you guys invented gin?
All the time. Yo, so check this out. If we were to buy 1 million Bitcoin at 300,000, it would cost $3 trillion. 3 trill is what it would cost us. I think it would
you realize your calculator says 3 billion there, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, dang it. I feel like an idiot. Yes, million. Sorry. Let me say. Okay. 300,000. 1, 2. Okay, 300,000 plus we
just add 6 zeros to 1 million.
1, 2, 3,
billion,
4,
trillion.
5, 6. There we go. All right, yeah, there we go. All right, so million billion, $300 billion. All right, there you go. It'd be $300 billion. Actually, that's not that bad at all, bro. 300 billion at 300. Yeah, dude, that's a drop in the bucket for us.
You know, Pedro is right here. His math may not be right, but he's right with his comment here. Thanks, you guys rock. The show wouldn't be good without you. That's for sure, because when Pedro and I started doing this, we really didn't have any interaction. So we had to create conversation amongst ourselves continuously, and it's difficult doing that. Being able to get sidetracked by you guys and entertain you a little bit, it makes this a lot easier. Makes us a lot easier and makes us want to come back and all that. And makes the sponsors want to come. They're slowly coming up here. Slowly coming. Soon we'll be like crypto banter and all that, where it charges 20 grand just to be mentioned on the show. That would be nice.
Day.
Mrs. Striking would enjoy that a lot.
That'd be a lot of tequila.
Pitmonk says, does the U.S. already have a vast holding of Bitcoin anyway? They'll just take full ownership.
Yes, we do.
Well, this is a controversial point. They have $5 billion. Whatever it is. They got a zillion Bitcoins. It's in the news today. It's like a couple 100,000 of them. They're one of the largest holders of Bitcoin on the planet. They didn't buy any of them. They got that shit for free by seizing it from other people.
Seizing it because they stole it.
Right. They stole it fair and square because they're the government. If you recall, they seized the Mt. Gox money too.
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And the U.S. government wasn't going to give that back. They're like, no, we seized it as proceeds of a crime. We'll deal with it whenever, we'll probably just auction it off. And frankly, the government of Japan stepped in. And the U.S. ambassador to Japan is a guy named Rahm Emanuel. Rahm used to be the mayor of Chicago, but also the chief of staff for President Obama. Basically helped the whole Obama thing go from 0 to 1,000. And he's mega connected. He is the ultimate consummate politician, and he's good at his job. And the Japanese government went to him and said, hey, all these people from the Mt. Gox was a Japanese exchange, got scammed. A lot of them are Japanese citizens. Your government just can't keep their money, even if they're the ones that confiscated it. And Rahm said, all right. And he went back and told everybody this is what you get needs to happen. And within like a few days, they sent the Bitcoin to the bankruptcy court for the Mt. Gox case. And now all that money got distributed back to its holders. An amazing proof of how blockchain works. It all went back to the owners, and they all made fat bank because that was stolen in 2013. Talk about diamond hand. How many of those people would have sold that shit as soon as it doubled in price? And instead, they 10,000x'd it and are sitting on fat bag.
Fatty bags, like rap music videos. Fat bags.
Jesus says Satoshi stepped in. Yeah, good point. Rahm Emanuel could be Satoshi. How about that? Rahm was a good mayor though too, because he was the mayor of Chicago after he was the chief of staff for Obama. So he's super connected. I mean, he was the most super connected guy, and he left being his chief of staff to run for mayor. And so while he was the mayor for like 2 years, Obama was still president. So the city got whatever it wanted. All of our roads got funded to be rebuilt, bridges. The city became beautiful. Everything got done. City council ran well. Everything was great. And then Rahm said, I'm done with city politics. And we elected Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, literally.
I might add, an African-American lady who's a former prosecutor. And everyone's like, oh, well, checks all the boxes. She was the worst mayor anyone had ever seen until they literally kicked her out of office and got the new mayor, which is even worse. He's like Maduro coming in after Chavez. It's like, we can't get worse. Everything's got to be better. Nope.
Speaking of Beetlejuice.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Speaking of Beetlejuice, they have revamped it. And and the movie is supposed to be coming out during Christmas time. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
No, I haven't. I have not seen it. That ought to be hilarious, though.
Dude, I am looking. If there's going to be a movie that I'm gonna look forward to watching, it's definitely gonna be that. Because, dude, I remember the first one was great. It was Michael Keaton, right?
Yeah, it's Michael Keaton. And
I don't know.
What was the girl's name? She was the
she's the one who stole
Goldberg's wife.
Yeah. Shoot. Dang it! It's just slipped me. Yes, I know who you're talking.
Jesus, I think San Francisco did that, right?
The old get rid of the bad mayor for another bad mayor. Yeah, it's about pretty much what San Francisco did. Yep. Your brain real quick, Tom. There you go. Love it. Absolutely love it. Alrighty, my friend. Well, it is, that time of the day where with that music should be coming on. Down. The old get rid of the bad mayor for another bad mayor situation. Oh yeah. Also, just to give everybody a heads up, a lot of these coins that I am looking at, I am in. So just giving everybody know. But there's also a lot of them we do talk about that I am definitely not in yet because I'm definitely looking to get in at lower levels. These are also major coins out there that hold a lot of liquidity, and so you can kind of trade them also as well.
Sorry, I blasted the music there accidentally.
Someone It's okay. I hear it. Say what? Auto. Love the auto outro while people are speaking. As always. Oh yeah. Google. Quick one couple quick things, guys. I want to also just reiterate. Love to have you guys tomorrow at Full Rant Friday. We'll send out a what do they call them? Are they still called tweets or are they called X?
Yeah, post.
Yeah. So we'll send out a post letting you guys know that we're gonna do Full Rant Friday. That's gonna be tomorrow at 12 o'clock for about an hour at the most. Typically, we just come in. Sometimes we get people who just come in and shill their project. You're more than welcome to do that as well. If I do get bored, I will just go okay, next. So make it entertaining. That's the point of it. So we want to make sure it's fun, good times, good vibes, and really entertaining. So come and rant your rant is what I say.
All right, everybody. On behalf of Pedro Garcia and myself, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. So good to have had a great show. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at Full Rant Friday. Ciao. Oops, I meant to play the outro.